Let's move on to 2A Sectional 35. You got Whitko 6-1 against Central Noble at 2-5. Eastside versus Busco, both teams 5-2. Then you've got South Adams against Prairie Heights and Bluffton at Woodland. Let's start off with Eastside Busco on the top half of this bracket. Those are some good quality NECC small school division opponents. Obviously, Eastside handled Busco fairly easily early in this season, but I think Busco might be better at this point than when they faced the Blazers. What do you see as being the key there? Because obviously, week one, that's going to be one of the premier matchups in 2A in our area.
Eastside has just been able to dominate teams after the first few weeks of the season. I think they're the best team in the NECC right now. Things are humming along on both sides of the ball. They're big up front. They're physical up front, and they have athletes on the outside, and that's very tough for the NECC teams to combat. Talking to Coach Paul Said after that game, and even last week, he said our guys were a little bit, they were overrating themselves a little bit after that Garrett game. They only lost 7-6, and they thought, man, okay, Garrett's a bigger school. We hung well. Okay, we're doing well. And then they go to Eastside and get stomped. And I think that really kind of leveled them out a little bit. You mentioned they're playing better now, probably a better football team than the first time they played him. And I would agree with that. And I think Busco really wanted this game because they want to show Eastside that they're a better team than the first time they played him.
And I see Whitko looming. I think Whitko's kind of like a sleeper because they don't play a lot of teams that we know a lot about during the regular season, but they're 6-1. They have a good running attack, and Garrett Elder's a heck of a player. They have guys that can play. They're obviously getting votes in the poll. How much of a sleeper can they be, you think, in this sectional?
It's tough to gauge Whitko because they play in it's not a very good conference, let's be honest. I mean, you got Northfield sitting in there and Southwood who are solid. But other than that, they're not playing a lot of good teams. And they're 6-1, but I think it's a very, not a very good 6-1. I'm not proven on Whitko. Maybe if they play Busco, they can match up well. But if Eastside wins that game, it's going to be very tough for Whitko, in my opinion, to hang with Eastside just because of the athletes and the size that Eastside's able to put out on the football field.
And on the bottom half, you've got South Adams again against Prairie Heights in round one. South Adams 4-3, you would think they would win that game because Prairie Heights hasn't got a win so far this year. And then Bluffton Woodland, you think Woodland's moving on. But Woodland South Adams, that's a game we're going to see this Friday.
Yeah.
And then they're going to play again, you know, skip a week and then play again. How do you see that one playing out? Because South Adams has done it with defense this year, and we know what Woodland has on offense. That's a tough matchup, I guess, for South Adams when they were going their strength on Woodland's strength, and Woodland's strength is elite strength as far as offensive football goes in 2A.
It's going to be an interesting chess match this Friday on what those coaches show because, like you mentioned, they play again in 2 weeks. So does Coach Sherwood Haydock show all of his hand, or do they hold some stuff back? Does South Adams show their hand? Do they hold some stuff back? You're going to try to learn off the other coach and what they do, but then you don't know if they're doing everything that they're going to do in 2 weeks. I mean, you can get your brain really kind of convoluted and going in circles if you start playing that game. But I think it was very surprising for me for South Adams to lose at Jay County last week. I think we kind of discounted Jay County, but here they are 4-3. And now South Adams is 4-3. We thought South Adams was that solid number 3 team in the ACAC. Turns out they aren't. They haven't played obviously yet. They play this Friday, so we're going to learn a lot. It's very tough for me to see anybody slowing down Woodland in this sectional. It could be another visit to Whiting in the semi-state before we really see Woodland challenged.
And the thing with Woodland, I think, is they're playing playoff type games starting now. You know, the knock on them the past few weeks has been like, okay, they really haven't played anybody. They put up great numbers, but what do we really know, and have they really improved? Well, South Adams is like a playoff game this Friday night. Then Adams Central the next week, which is, you know, a conference championship game. Then you've got South Adams again, likely in the postseason after round one. And then you're probably playing Eastside, Whitko, or Busco in the championship game. So, I mean, they finally get some challenge games coming up here in the next few weeks where they can, you know, make the type of progress that they need to make a sustained playoff run, I think.
Yeah, I think it started last week with Lima Central Catholic. I don't think they're as good as they have been, but Central Catholic was able to come in there, hang with them. It was scoreless after one, and Woodland really had to work hard. And I think that's what Coach Haydock really wants for this team, the final weeks of the regular season, because let's be honest, they've coasted for the better part of the season. So these challenges later in the year, it's good for them that South Adams is a quality opponent. It's great for them that Adams Central is who they are. To go into the playoffs being challenged, definitely going to be a very good couple weeks for Woodland going forward.